Hi, I'm Jennifer of Celtic Knot Crochet, and today in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet the Lacy Rock Cozy. This is a simple project that uses about 8 rounds to cover a rock with some cotton crochet thread. To make the Lacy Rock Cozy, you'll need a few supplies. The first supply you'll need is yarn. For this delicate, smaller rock, I use size 10 cotton crochet thread. Any color would work. And if you're going to use the smaller thread, then you would need size 1.5 millimeter crochet hook, steel crochet hook. Very small hook. But if that's something that seems too hard for you, you can do the same pattern with thicker yarn. This is size 3 yarn, and it's also cotton. You can get cotton crochet thread as well that's size 3, and you can use a 3.75 or 2.75 crochet hook. If you're going to use the thinner yarn, then you need a rock that is approximately 3 inches across. And if you're going to use the thicker yarn, you want a rock that's anywhere between 4 and 5 inches across. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle because the project will mold to the shape of the rock. So this here is oval and this one is circular, and the project works for both. You'll also need a tapestry needle just to weave in some of these ends that you'll always have with crochet projects. I would rate this an easy pattern, and here are the stitches that you would need to know to make this. You would need to know the chain, slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, a puff stitch, and an adjustable ring. If you would prefer not to do the adjustable ring, I will show you an easier alternative. And I will also show you how to do the puff stitch so that you can be successful. This is what the circular motif looks like before you do the last round, which joins it or closes it in to fit the rock. So you have some puff stitches here in the center, then you have several chain spaces that create this lacy look, then you have some double crochet stitches that create this solid section, and then you have more chain stitches to create these large loops. And then if you see here, these are the large loops, and you do one more round to pull them in and slip it over the rock. So I'm going to show you with much thicker yarn so it's easier for you to see, and then I'll show you how to attach it to the rock and how to adjust it for different size rocks. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make an adjustable ring. This is how I like to do it. I take the working end of my yarn, wrap it around my hand, pinch it together, and put the working yarn across the end that I just wrapped around my hand. Then I'm going to insert my hook under and pull through that working yarn. So I have a loop here. Here comes the trickiest part. I pinch the base of this loop and get my hand ready to crochet. Keep pinching that loop and tighten it up, and then chain 1. If you'd like to see this a little bit slower, you can watch this video right up here that shows you how to do the adjustable ring. By chaining 1, it locks it in place. And now I'm going to chain 2 more, so I have chain 3, and now I'm going to work a puff stitch. You're going to yarn over, put your hook into that adjustable ring, yarn over, draw up a loop. And you want to draw up the loop. Here I'm drawing it up about a 1/2 inch tall. For the thread, it's very small, about a 1/4 inch tall. The key is however high you pull that first set of loops, you're going to want to do that for all the loops. So we're going to do it 4 more times. Yarn over, put my hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop the same height as the others. Yarn over, hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, same height as the others. And I'm going to do that a total of 5 times. So if you look here, now I have 11 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through 10. Like so. And now I have 2 loops left on my hook, and then I yarn over, pull through those 2. And that gives a nice top to my puff stitch. Then I'm going to chain 3 and slip stitch back into that adjustable ring. And now I have 1 petal completed. The chain 3, the puff, and then the chain 3 on the other side. Now I'm going to do this whole thing 4 more times. So I'll do it one more time for you. Chain 3, yarn over, hook into the adjustable ring, yarn over, draw up a loop. 5 times total. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through everything but 1. Like so. 2 loops left on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, then chain 3, and then do a slip stitch in the adjustable ring. Slip stitch, you put your hook in, yarn over, and pull through everything. And then I pull it together to tighten it up, and you can see I have 2 petals here. And I'm going to continue that till I have a total of 5 petals. Here you can see my 5 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what I do is I take this yarn tail from the adjustable ring and I pull that, and that makes that center hole disappear, like so. Now if the adjustable ring is too complicated for you, let me show you an alternative way to do that. You can just begin your project by chaining 4, and then you're going to work the whole thing, all 5 petals, into this very first chain. So you're going to skip these 3 and then do your first puff stitch in that first chain, like so, and you'll just have a little bit bigger hole in the center, but other than that, it'll still look the same. So here's 1 puff stitch, yarn over, pull through everything but 1, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, 2, 3, and then I go back into that first chain, and I continue working all the puff stitches just like I showed you, but instead of an adjustable ring, I just put them all in that chain. So that's an alternative for you. Now we're on round 2. I'm going to start by chaining 9. So the first 3 chains counts as a double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 6 more. And now I'm going to work in between all of the petals. And I'm going to insert my hook right into that center hole again. So I'm going to yarn over and do a double crochet right inside the hole and working in between the 2 petals. So here's that chain 9. I'm working around that first puff stitch petal, and then I did a double crochet right in between the first 2 petals. Now I'm going to chain 6, and I'm going to work in between the next two petals, petal 2 and petal 3. Yarn over, put my hook right into the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 for regular double crochet. And that helps your project to have some space between the petals and the next round. And I'll continue with chaining 6 and double crocheting in between the next two petals. Now that I've gone all the way around with my chain 6 double crochet, here I am at my last chain 6, and I'm meeting up with the very beginning where I did a chain 9. So I want to count out 3 chains from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to insert my hook into that third chain and do a slip stitch. Yarn over and pull through everything. And now that starting chain 3 looks like all these other double crochets, these spokes standing up and giving space around the petals. Now I'm going to do round 3. Chain 1, and I'm going to work right into that same stitch where I did the slip stitch and do a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 5, and I'm going to single crochet in this chain 6 space right here. Just put my hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then I'm going to chain 5 again, and I'm going to put my hook into that space again, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and I'm going to chain 5 one more time. And now I'm going to work right into that double crochet here. So you're adding several chain 5 spaces every section. So you're going to have 3 chain 5 spaces for every chain 6 space. Chain 5, single crochet in the next space, chain 5, single crochet in the same space, chain 5, single crochet in the next double crochet, and repeat that around. I want to show you a special technique when working in the round with lacy patterns. Here you can see I have 14 of the chain 5 spaces completed, and I need to do my last one. But if you look according to the directions, which you'll find in the link in the description below, you're going to, for the last one, chain 3, not 5. And you're going to do a half double crochet in that single crochet that started the whole round. Yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. By doing that technique, you end at the top of the chain 5 loop instead of the bottom. Now I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet in that chain 5 space, and now I'm going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 5 and single crochet in the next space. And this is round 4. Chain 5, find the next chain 5 space and single crochet in that. This is a very easy row. Find the next space right here, and I continue that until I get to the last one, and we'll do a similar technique again so we can end in the middle. Here you can see I've done all the chain 5 single crochets around, And I have one more to do right here, but again I want to end in the middle top of my last chain 5 space. So I'm going to do the same technique as before. Chain 3, then yarn over. Here's my first chain 5 space from the previous round. Here's my first single crochet that started the round, and I'm going to insert my hook into that first single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and now I end here at the top of my last chain 5 space. Next I'm going to chain 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be round 5. This 7 here will count, the first 3 chains will count as a double crochet, and the last 4 chains will count as the bridge to the next double crochet. So I find my next chain 5 space, and I'm going to do a double crochet in that. Yarn over, put my hook in the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then I'm going to chain 4 again, find my next chain 5 space, and do a double crochet right in there. And this is what creates these spokes going out from the chain 5 spaces. And it really helps pull out all the lacy stitches so you can see the detail. And that's all there is to it for this round. Chain 4, find my next chain 5 space, and double crochet in that. And I've done my last double crochet, and here's that beginning chain 7 right here. So I'm going to do my last chain 4, and I want to find the 3rd chain, 1, 2, 3, in that starting chain 7, put my hook into that 3rd chain, yarn over, and pull through everything, which is a slip stitch, and that closes up the round, and it gives a nice circular finish to the cozy project. For the next round, you'll be adding this solid ring around the design, very simply with all the same stitches. To begin this round, you'll chain 3, and this counts as your first double crochet. Then you're going to cram a bunch of double crochets in each chain 4 space. Yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1 double crochet, and I'm going to do a total of 5 in this space. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I come up on my next double crochet, and I will put a double crochet in the top of that. And then I continue that around the entire round. So 5 more double crochets in the next space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 in the next double crochet. Repeat that around, and then we're going to join at the top of the starting chain 3 with a slip stitch. Now your cozy should look something like this, where you have the puff stitch flower, some space, some lacy chain spaces, the double crochet spokes, and now double crochet solid row, making it into a nice even circle. We're almost finished. Now we're going to work on row 7, Now we need to finish round 6. Here is our starting chain 3. We're going to put our hook into the top of it, yarn over, pull through the top of that chain and through the loop on our hook. That's a slip stitch, and it joined the end together. Now we're going to chain 1, put our hook back into where we put it for the slip stitch, and do a single crochet. Then we're going to chain 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to skip those 5 stitches that we put in that center space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, which is a double crochet. And that gives us this tall, long chain space. And we're going to put those all the way around. So chain 10 again, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Skip the next 5 stitches, you see them right there, and then work into that next double crochet with a single. And that is going to create those big chain spaces, which will then wrap around the side of your rock. Here we have round 7 almost completed, and we're going to do a similar technique like before, where we're going to chain 5 and then do a long tall stitch here, so we end at the top of this large chain loop. So my last one, I'm not going to chain 10, I'm going to chain 5, and then I'm going to do a double treble. So that just means I'm going to yarn over a lot. So when you yarn over once, that's for a double crochet. When you yarn over twice, that's for a treble crochet. And when you yarn over 3 times, that's for a double treble crochet. So we yarn over 3 times, then we find that first single crochet of the round, put our hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that made a really tall stitch, and it also makes it so I end in the middle of that last chain 10 space. Now we're on round 8, the last round, where it's going to close it all up so we can wrap it around a rock. So we chain 1, and we're going to single crochet right into that space. And now we're going to chain 3, and single crochet in the next space. Then we're going to chain 2 and single crochet in the next space. Now we're going to chain 3. So we're alternating chain 3, single crochet in the next space, chain 2, single crochet in the next space. And you can see what it's doing. It's gathering up. My nice flat circle is no longer flat, and this is cupping it in so it can be wrapped around a rock. This here, of course, is way bigger than what I was planning on covering. So I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to show you with one of the smaller ones. Here's one with the size 3. So I'm going to show you with the thinnest thread, the size 10 thread. As we did before, chain 1, single crochet in that last space, chain 3, single crochet in the next space, chain 2, single crochet in the next space. So you'll keep going around until you see that your circle is cupping like you can see mine is. And I'm going to go halfway around, and then I'm going to pause and insert the rock. So I'm about halfway around. Want to make sure that the right side is facing. Now before I put it around the rock, what's always good is to take care of this center string. Since we used an adjustable ring, what I like to do, of course this is a very big tapestry needle, bigger than I need, but so you can see, I pull this nice and tight, and then I go through a couple of the loops of one of the puff petals, like so, and then I feed the needle back through the loop to make a nice secure knot. And I might do that 2 or 3 times total, and then after I've knotted it as best I can, I weave the tapestry needle through all the puff stitches on the back side, and then I carefully cut that yarn tail off, and this is easier to do before you put it on the rock. So now I don't have to worry about that. And now I'm going to insert the rock into the already completed rounds, and the cotton yarn stretches nicely and the stitches stretch too. Put my hook back in, and you can see it's coming all together. Now what you might need to do is you might need to chain a little bit more than the 2 or 3. So I'm going to put a chain 4 here because I can feel it's a little tight around the rock, and that just gives me a little wiggle room. I'll do another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll have to experiment with how many chains you want to put in between at the end here. And if your rock is smaller than mine, you might only have to do 1 chain in between. So I can see as I come here to the end, I can hold it up with my tapestry needle and kind of get a gauge. So it looks like I could maybe do 3 here in the last space and maybe another 4 right here. So this might be the trickiest part of holding it all together, but you want it nice and snug so it doesn't fall off. And then I'm going to insert my hook into that first single crochet of the round, yarn over, pull through everything for a nice slip stitch. And then I can shift the cozy over so it really outlines the shape of the rock and things look even, and the flowers at the center. Cut the yarn tail. Pull it nice and tight. And I love how it makes this pretty design on the other side. And then what I like to do is I like to put a message on it, or at least the date and my name, so I remember when I made the rock. And there you go, the Lacy Rock Cozy. Thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to click to subscribe. and make sure to watch the next crochet tutorial. Happy crocheting!